Good morning. My name is Rachel, and I'm the Thrifty Crocheter. And it is very gorgeous day outside. It's very sunny, nice and cool outside, and it's heading towards fall. And I'm so happy. I'm sorry, I made my hand on my face, but I had to fix the camera a little bit. So, for everybody who came up on my live last night, I thank you so very much. And okay, I think I was still trying to get it home. There we go. So, with that, today is August the 27th. I like that one. That one's pretty neat. Pretty elegant looking. Almost Irish looking to me. Three, I don't know why my camera wants to freeze. But 365 days of kindness. Fight bravely. Be courageous. Let us fight bravely for our people and the cities of our God. May the Lord's will be done. 2 Samuel 10:12. Reading or watching the news can leave us feeling pretty hopeless about the state of our world. We see stories of people whose lives have been ruined by injustice, discrimination, war, and natural disasters. The lives of those who are vulnerable to personal destruction need protection, and it needs to come from those of us who are strong enough to help. This is the time to be courageous, to stand up for those who are weak and hurting. We need to allow the pain of others to affect us enough to do something about it. Fight bravely for these people. Pray other practical and financial help. Stand in solidarity with the marginalized and watch the love of our compassionate God change lives, cities, and nations. Act of kindness. Send a donation to charity. I'm always all about sending donations to charity because they need those things. I think it helps that my dad once led the here in town. We had the inner city mission when I was a kid, and people were always would give those people donations, and I think that's where I get that from, because not everybody has everything that they need in life, and so when they get things that are donated, they appreciate them greatly. So, daily devotions for grandmothers. August 27th. There is a time for everything, a time to be born and a time to die. Ecclesiastes 3:1 and 2. I watch out the car window as the scenery zips by. Fields of corn and beans, freshly painted red barns, and herds of grazing Holsteins. Those are cattle, by the way. I've made this trip to the small town where I grew up hundreds of times. But I realize as I look at my son-in-law driving and my daughter sitting beside him, I have never before made it sitting in the back seat. I was always the one driving, each mile bringing me closer to my mother and my sister, closer to the warm familiarity of going home. But now my sister was retired to Florida, and my mother is buried in the small cemetery down the road from where she lived. Small feet kick against the car seat, and the sound of the rattle breaks into my thoughts. I turn to look at my 6-month-old grandson, Drake. He smiles and bangs the rattle against his leg. I reach for his hand and begin singing silly rhymes. Later I stand at Mother's grave, shaded by the branches of a giant tree. The only sounds are the calls of birds high overhead. With Drake in my arms, I kneel to place a bouquet of purple roses, Mother's favorite color, at the base of her headstone. She would have loved you so very much, I whisper into the soft baby neck. Suddenly Drake leans forward and his tiny hands pats the warm granite. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in the halls of heaven, Mother smiles at the touch of her great-grandson's hand on her shoulder. Comfort us, Father, with the continuing blessing of your love in this life and in the one beyond. Let us teach it to our children and our children's children. Mary Lou Carney. She has a lot of really nice ones, and, and, having lost my mom last year, this is, This one was a really nice one. And when you went on trips when you're a kid, your parents are driving and you got to be the one seeing everything. And then if your kids ever get to be your taxi driver and you get to see the world again, it's a whole different light because you don't have to pay attention to the traffic as much. It's a whole different thing. I'm reaching down to pet my doggy. Um, but sometimes when you go to a cemetery, you hope that people come and visit those people, and that they just don't just sit there without having a visitor. Um, Even when we were getting ready to bury my mom last year, and my dad and we had to create a stone for my mom. We went to the cemetery where she was buried, and we looked at other headstones to come up with an idea how we wanted her stone to look like. Even if it's just that, sometimes you need that. Um, Here's Oliver. He wants to say hi. Sometimes you just need some kind of inspiration. Hi, Oliver. Oliver wants to say hi. He says hi. um, all right. The illustrated words of Jesus for women. Hi. Hi. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. August 27. You must pray. Everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks the door will be opened. Luke 11:10. How marvelous is this verse? God is waiting to hear from you. He cares about what you care about. He wants to answer your prayers. The key is you must pray. Does that mean you can ask for anything you want and be sure that you'll get it? Of course not. You must know God is reading his word. The better you know him, the more you will understand his will for your life. Keep praying to see God at work. The more you ask, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you know. And it ends with Have you been praying for something for a very long time? Don't give up. God hears. He cares. He will answer in his time. In his time, in his time, he makes all things beautiful. In his time, Lord, please show me every day as you're teaching me your way, that you do just what you say in your time. That's like a chorus from a song, an old hymn. Excuse me. Um, and I've talked about this before. He hears us, and he does answer. He may not answer in the way. Sometimes he answers in the way we want, and sometimes he doesn't. And sometimes he answers it when we want it, and a lot of times he doesn't. He answers it when he wants it. And sometimes he gives you a whole different answer than what you want. So, just like he is super patient with us, we got to be patient with him. It's hard because we're humans. And we ask for so much. In other words, I'm determined to knock my camera over. Because when I'm on my phone, when I first wake up in the morning, he'll come up and he'll paw at the phone to knock it out of my hands. Because he's not like, he's like, you're paying more attention to that than to me. Before I forget, this small swatch of yarn has been woven with prayers. As you hold this swatch in your hand, may you feel God's Strength, love, and peace flow and know that He holds you in His hands. Um, May God bless and comfort you in your time of need and give you peace. Amen. Love y'all. Bye.